Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. How's it going?
Great.
We have another episode of Bandwidth and Banter for you guys. Thank you for joining us on your Friday evening for another fantastic interview. I am your host, Stormy D of Storm Saga Games, and I appreciate you all joining us tonight. And my co-host and co-creator, co-founder over there is, please introduce yourself, milady.
I'm Drew IRL.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said it. I'm for it, and I play. Yeah,
Yep,
but that's not what we're doing today.
In the habit of that, yes. Guys, we're so excited tonight. It's another awesome episode to follow up a great episode. Man, last week we had SOC Teddy on, and we owe SOC Teddy a lot, because if it wasn't for him, you and Fate wouldn't be streaming, and we wouldn't have met
100%.
you guys. And the world is our oyster, and the future's so bright we got to wear shades, right? So, thank you,
all
Teddy.
hail SOC Teddy.
All
Thank
hail
you.
SOC Teddy. Speaking of
I would have
hailing
never
people,
known Twitch.
That's right. Speaking of hailing people, who are we hailing today?
Brotousai.
I know, it's fantastic. The amazing Brotousai, another
so
one
excited.
of our amazing DYS friends. Such a warm, wonderful human being.
Yes.
Another epic bearded human being as well. And he's got the perfect voice for this kind of work. And on top of that, he's in the running he's got that competition going with BT for Arnie voice. Like he does incredible Arnie impersonations. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we're gonna have to have we will eventually have the Arnie off of a lifetime.
Yeah,
it'll be amazing.
Yep, we're gonna reach out to Brandon and talk about that whole community event thing. That would be awesome. So, if you guys are out there listening, which I know you are, but. With tonight's is about highlighting Brotousai and his amazing content. So let's have the amazing Brotousai on. Welcome in, everybody. Say hello to our good friend Brotousai.
Hello, it's me, Brotousai. What's going on, guys?
Woo!
Thank you for having me on this wonderful podcast with the wonderful two of you.
Aww.
And Bandwidth and Banter. It can't be more of a privilege with you, gentlewomen and gentlemen, in this wonderful podcast. Thank you so much. Big hype. Welcome, chat. Welcome, guys.
Aww.
I can't wait.
So excited.
Awesome.
We are so excited that you're here. Thank you.
Brotousai, please tell the folks a little bit about your stream and about yourself.
Well, it started with a dream, and Brandon kind of helped me out with that. Me and him kind of been chugging along with this idea of just growing a community of stuff, and we started streaming. I started streaming on this little Microsoft 2000 camera with like 340p stuff, and just started making some good content, and just showing that anyone could really get on there and have fun, and that's what it's all about. And that's how I went into stuff, because I like gaming. I was like, hey, if I'm gaming, why not kind of share it with the world? And I was big into War Thunder. That's what most people see, is I play a lot of War Thunder. People think I'm a good gamer in it. I just think I'm a casual gamer, just playing it for a lot of years. But I love D&D, and I've seen the D&D communities like yourself that are just amazing, and just content creation in that has been in my mind for a long time. And you guys have influenced me, and I can imagine that people can be influenced as well. And that's what I love about Twitch, the influence that people can get, and a good one at that.
Right, the impact we can put on people's lives. I appreciate you.
Yes, exactly. So that's how I got into being a content creator.
Fantastic.
The influence that Brandon did.
Shout out to Brandon Wolf Gaming.
Yep. So, guys, we're going to jump into the interview now. First off, though, at the end of this, we're going to share all his links so that you can share the love and support for Brotousai. So, Brotousai, you ready for us to jump into some fun questions, some casual hanging out questions? Get to know each other.
Yeah, shoot them at me.
All right. I think our folks know what's coming for these first few. Here we go. Brotousai, please share with us a boring fact about yourself.
A boring fact. I used to have 6 fingers and 1 6 toe.
No
They
way.
weren't really like a big functioning one. Yeah, I don't know if you could see it really, but you can't really see it. But there's a big scar right here.
Whoa.
I have scars. So I used to have big honking hands. So that's the one weird and crazy thing to know, is that I used to have even bigger hands.
Huh. I mean,
Inigo Montoya, you killed my father.
You killed my father.
Prepare to die.
That's why I love that Brandon has that on the stream, because I'll make his ultimate villain.
That's awesome. That is perfect.
That is awesome.
So yeah, that's the weird fact about myself.
Thank you for sharing that. That's a lot of people might be uncomfortable with that, but you share.
I learned it at an older age. My mother told me it was this extra skin. She didn't want to freak me out, but it was weird. Yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah. So
weird one.
All right. How did you pick your Twitch name? What was the inspiration?
So I am an anime kind of dude. I liked Rurouni Kenshin. That was my favorite one.
Oh, that's a great one.
And his name, people like the like, oh, it's the Hitoki Brotousai. And it's actually my friend John. His name is John, but we call him Attila or Brotilla. It started with bro. So I was like, what should I do for that? And he's like, hey, why not Brotousai? Because Brotousai. Yeah. So that Brotousai, I'll be a bro slayer. So I'm the bro slayer.
I love it. I'm a huge fan of Rurouni Kenshin in
I love
anime.
Rurouni Kenshin.
So that's fantastic. Yeah. I had no idea. I mean,
yeah, that's how.
Sorry, I was just going to say that.
I made an anime. It was Rurouni Kenshin and what was the other one? I totally blanked out. It was the finger guns. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho. Yep, I've watched that one twice.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I love that.
Love that.
And then I got into big in Dragon Ball Z and stuff like Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball. But yeah, I loved Rurouni Kenshin. I just loved the whole pacifist kind of thing. And it's like, tough times became good times when you made it,
Right.
So
fantastic.
Kind of like a Yoda in the Japanese world in a way.
It's funny. Your name is so evocative that I somehow instinctively got that, because every time I see you in anybody's chat or see your streams, the first thing that comes to mind is like a samurai. And so the Brotousai is perfect.
Yep. But I've always loved people butchering my names. It's actually like, I just like, please butcher it, because like people like called me Broto USA. I've heard that. I'm like, I love it because it's like an interesting name that people like. Yeah, it's just different. I don't know. It's
that's cool.
That is fabulous.
All right.
But yeah, that's the origination. Is my friend John made it for me, because I used to be called Kenshin or something like that, and that's it.
Thank you.
That's my name.
So much.
So you're definitely going to like this next question. It's going to lead into a few more of these. Brotousai, please tell everyone what D&D class you consider yourself to be in real life.
I'm obviously the barbarian. The barbarian. I go things with my spear. I mean, it was either barbarian or samurai, really. Like I got really into D&D when I became the barbarian, because that's how I got this voice, is the barbarian. That's how I just going, because the role play and the fantasy, I just went right into it. I haven't played barbarian in a long time, and I was just talking about it with my friends the other day. I'm like, just you wait. I'm going to go back, and you guys are going to be flabbergasted.
Oh, I would love to see that content. Hell yeah! If it's going to be something that you stream.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
It should be.
I will, of course.
Do you prefer to be a player or a dungeon master?
Oh, I mean, the thing is that I've never actually did like being a DM before until I actually went up with my friends, and we went to Canada. Me, Never, Brandon, and a few of the DYS gang, and that was the first time I ever DM'd. It was all theater of the mind. Just had it in my head. We printed out a bunch of character sheets real quick. I slap things together. I would roll things behind the screens of what they would do, like what my characters would do in being a DM, and I just went with the flow, and I loved it. So if I had a choice right now, DM, but I've had a lot of experience being a player right now. You know, so it's something that I'm thriving to get into. Really
right
hard.
on.
Ooh.
We can't wait.
I have much respect for DMs. I worship all DMs. You guys are all amazing.
Yes.
All worship the
Storm
DMs.
keep.
Oh, thank you. You guys. Thank you. So I'm gonna slightly alter this next question a little bit because of some of the stuff that we talked about earlier. If you don't mind sharing, and it's okay if you don't want to share this too soon, but you know, you said that you're working on a campaign of your own.
Yes.
And you are you okay with sharing the kind of theme that you told us about that you're kind of basing it on?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I'm a big history buff. I wasn't a big history buff when I was in high school. You know, they were getting out and just learning other people's content on YouTube and just learning the history that way. I learned so many different random things and about Rome, about medieval ages and stuff like that. And that's how back in the day I loved history in D&D, but not until I got out of high school that I learned a lot about history itself. And so having that theme is I wanted to make it a Roman times where Rome was kind of thrown into this chaos where it was Rome civilization, and something catastrophic happened and they had to rebuild themselves. So there's a lot of uncertainty in the area, a lot of uncertain hate amongst other magic users, and in the fantasy, holy magic is more acceptable than arcane. So being a magic user is hard to come by, but you can still do it, of course. It's just one of those things where it's like untrustworthy. So that's kind of the theme. And then you have like the civilization where you're kind of locked out, and it's kind of like a citizen thing to get into that. So it's kind of a builder upper. And I'm still working on things to polish things out, but I'm starting right now is starting locations where I can have just random things and just have this theater of a mind where I could just be like, this could be possible. They just have to be there. Right.
Cool.
And that's kind of where I'm getting.
Right on. Sounds juicy. Sounds juicy.
Yeah.
That sounds so cool.
Yep. So I got things in the works. You know, I've been writing things down on just certain certain scenarios that could happen in each town or this and that. Just keep on writing. You know, just keep your theater, your mental wall down. You know, break right through it and just write something down on a piece of paper and, you know, try to make something of it. That's where I'm at right now. But yeah, that's all I got.
Awesome.
I love that. That is so great. I am also a really big fan of history, and I didn't get into it until after high school too, so I totally get it, and I love it. That sounds so cool. Anyways.
Exactly.
How long have you played Magic: The Gathering?
I am a new person. Brandon got me into it. We went to Canada, and I bought like I went to Comic-Con way back in the day, and I dressed up as Clark Kent because my last name is Clark, so my little ID said Clark, so I just dressed up as Clark Kent with my little glasses and everything. And I bought like a Magic starter deck of vampires. I never played it until I played with Brandon, and it was pretty interesting. Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's a good card game. So starting recent this year.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, on that topic then, when you went and played Magic with them in Canada, did you find a certain archetype or favorite deck that you had while you were playing?
I definitely did like the vampires with their whole like sacrificing and then adding on. And also like it was kind of cheesy in a way. I'm not a big, I kind of was like on the borderline of cheesy of like kill cards, you know, like, I could just delete you. There you go, delete. So I'm like, just knowing that you can actually have counters and the counter spells was really cool to see. I'm like, oh, so there is counters for that of the most cheesiest thing. Because I used to play like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a younger kid. I never got into Magic until recent.
Right.
So just seeing like all this stuff where where all that kind of stuff came from in a way is really cool to see all the kind of counters and the elements and mixtures of things you can do. And yeah, Brandon has a lot of cards, so just him showing random starter decks and using them like red goblin deck and just being like a spam cards. It was like, oh, this is really cool. You don't have to have like rare cards to beat this guy. You just have to have a chess kind of mind,
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was really cool. Yeah.
Right on.
It's time to do.
We'll have to play sometime, all of us. I would love to play with you guys.
Yeah.
I haven't played in a while. It's a hobby that I kind of put away for a while, but playing casual with friends is always something you can pick up.
I'm going to need to be taught.
It's easy to get into, really easy. Especially when you have people that want to teach,
My husband would love to participate. He's into mill decks.
Mill decks.
It's like where you like make cards go to it's not kill the I don't know. It's called a mill deck. I have no idea.
It's called a mill deck because you force your opponent to put cards from their library into their graveyard until you run them out of resources.
Yeah.
There he is. I summoned him. He tried to teach me once. I couldn't figure it. It was so confusing, but I feel like I can understand it better now. But anyways, I think that would be cool to watch you guys all play Magic. Ooh. Just saying. Anyways. Alrighty. Switching gears a little bit. What drew you to Twitch?
Sorry, what was that?
What drew you to Twitch?
What drew me to Twitch? I mean, I've always kind of like went on Twitch to see like the reviews on games because I couldn't really rely on reviews on these game reviews places because they're just, I mean, from now on it's just like a bunch of crap. So I just went to see it myself and I'm like, oh, that's something that I would like because everyone in games, it's all about what rewards you. Like everyone else they could hate the game or you could like the game. It's just about like, if I like to spend 7 hours flying somewhere, that's my reward. But someone would be like, I can't deal with this. It's just, so being able to see it yourself firsthand and just having it like continue on and not just some simple review is something that I liked. And that's what attracted me to Twitch. And then later on, I found it to be the community was amazing. Like the communities, a lot of the good communities you can actually try to find. It can be hard, but they're out there. And once they're in there, it's just like, you're like, finally, something that I can like get myself into instead of just, watching these reality TV shows or something like that and not being part of something. And that's what I think people like about Twitch is being a part of something. Agreed. So
the craving of finding, creating your own new friend circle or Twitch fam,
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what did your IRL family and friends think when you told them you plan to stream?
They don't really understand this kind of stuff. I played video games when I was a young kid, and they just never really understood why I kept on playing video games. I'm like, well, I like it. It's like they like the other things, I like this. So it's just like, there's a confusion thing, but they're just kind of like, well, if you like it, whatever. And ever since I was a kid, I would, go do community service, landscaping, and save up money to buy that next video game, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
So like, that's what my father told me. Like, if you like something and if it's a hobby, you got to go pay for it. So I'm like, okay. And that's kind of the mindset I went through is like, and then once Twitch came along, I'm like, I can make content and maybe make some more money and buy more content because I like it because it's fun.
Right.
So, they never understood, but that's fine. And as long as you're having fun with it, it's what matters the most.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What struggles did you deal with when you first started streaming?
Having a good camera. Just having a really crappy camera. I mean, like, starting up streaming, I had Brando, and it was really nice to have like that support, and not many people had that kind of support with another person. And so it was kind of easier for me because I just kind of blocked out the viewership or anything like that. I just like whatever, try to have fun. Brandon would come on, talk to me, and we'll just have a good time making content together. And just slowly it grew, and just me kind of like not paying attention to it, just kind of rolled on without me. I just like, okay, well, this is it. And like, and I loved it so far. Like it's made me had the opportunities that I have now, like having these new friends and new people that I've met. It's so
Yeah.
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 It's been a great thing.
Yeah. Stormy?
It's actually you. I just did the family and friends question.
No, I just asked what struggles did you deal with, and now it's your turn.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
That was...
What was the struggles you dealt with?
It was the camera.
Oh yeah, you did.
Much,
that's
really all
I had
it was.
A brain
like I had
moment.
a crappy camera.
I'm sorry.
Microsoft 2000 thing, and that was like the only real struggle. Is just like seeing me clearly. Everything else was fine. Like I
got so wrapped up in your voice that I was kind of hypnotized, dude. I'm not lying.
You were the first person so far to hypnotize Stormy on Bandwidth and Banter. You get a sticker.
I'm just enjoying listening. Keep talking.
No, I didn't have too many problems. I had Brando, and cool. I wish some people had a lot more support. So that's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Yeah,
that is why we are here.
Exactly. What tips can you share with future streamers?
Just like what I was saying earlier, is not look at the viewership and try to just keep on talking like someone's there, and just like, I mean, I even do it in War Thunder just to remind me of things, because in War Thunder so many things going on, so just talking about it, like, oh, I have to go this way, I have this much fuel, so like getting into the Twitch thing just kind of went fluently with me in a way, because I would just be talking to myself anyways. I mean, might as well just record it and show how insane I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like not looking at the viewership. Keep on talking, like keep on talking about what you're doing, and if someone responds, it's a good feeling, because you can have that banter back and forth, and it just, the time just slips away.
Definitely know what that's like. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But patience is key.
Right on.
100%.
Very eloquent.
Yes. What is your absolute favorite thing? What do you enjoy most about streaming?
What I enjoy most about streaming, that I can actually finally get all my content together, because I have so many good memories that I've never recorded. I've never recorded, and I'm like, wow, I wish I had something that I had of this moment back in the day, because to be honest, I'm a big troll in games. I like to mess with people. So just getting them with their pants down just makes me so happy. And I just have so many good memories of just like messing with people in games, like in Tarkov or in War Thunder and this and that. It's having those recordings of those funny moments would be put a smile on my face. And now I can actually do it, just bring it back and just go back to those memories.
That's awesome.
That's so, yeah.
That's I hadn't thought of it.
My husband and I are like, I wish we could clip this moment in real life. I would just want to clip it.
Yep. And that's like another thing that me and Brandon have been talking about, is like we were thinking about making another stream account for like a DYS live kind of thing, and just me and Brando just doing silly things. Like we were just riding in the car earlier, and we were just like dancing to some music that people were listening to in the next car, like just some random things that me and Brandon get into. It's just really funny, where it could just be like this quick little short, right? This little short, we could put it up in just our daily lives, and it's just one of those thoughts in the back head. This could be recorded and clipped, and it could be so funny. I love it. That's what I love about Twitch.
Yeah, indeed. That would be fun. That would be cool.
Hopefully in the works.
Well, we can't wait to see what
Finger
sort of
guns.
shenanigans and craziness you guys get up to in the future. We're looking forward to it. So, Brotousai, I love this next question. Do you have a favorite Arnie quote that you impersonate?
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. So yeah, Dr. Freeze. I loved that movie when I was a kid. I used that when I was in PUBG. I'll be up on the second floor, and I hear people coming in. What killed the dinosaurs? And I go down the room, the Ice Age, and I spray them with a gun.
That's so funny. That's classic.
That's well. I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them in my chamber. You know, just
Yeah, I love it.
yeah. That's my favorite quote that I like to use on the fly.
I still cannot wait for the Arnie off.
I know.
Literally.
Awesome. Like both of you have
be
different
decimated.
things that like there's not going to be a winner because you guys are both amazing at it. You both have like the two of you together. Oh my God, that will be the winner. That would be like just.
It would just be me in the corner dying
Yeah, she will.
of laughter.
Yeah, she will.
And it.
She's a giggle factory.
I'm just thinking of like an 80s montage or something like that. Me like the day before, like just watching all these Arnie like clips and stuff like that. I have to beat them. I have to beat Banana. It's like side scroll like a bunch of movies going on. You know, like Detective John Connor. Yeah. No, I can't wait. It's going to be a good time.
Right on.
I like how people are doing voice acting of my favorite actor.
He's
I'm
awesome.
so you can't even understand how excited I am.
Yep.
Like words cannot express.
Oh, it will be down in the history of the tomes.
I'm just gonna like randomly play it. Just like, look, remember this, guys. This happened, and we're just gonna appreciate it
Well,
all the time.
And just like he was talking about before, we'll have clipped moments of it for forever.
Exactly.
That's what I mean.
Yep. Exactly. I
All
love
right. Oh my goodness. How long have you been playing video games? And what was the first one you ever remember playing?
it. Ooh, good question. Wow. It's either two games. I didn't get into gaming until I was a little bit older because we got the Nintendo 64 the first time. But the first game was either on the computer where it was like Road Rage. I don't know if it was that one, but I definitely think it was Mario 64 and then GoldenEye. Those were like my two games in Turok. Oh, that scared the crap out of me when I was a little kid. Those were the games I started with, yeah. And it got me really into gaming because we only had a Nintendo and then like Star Fox, just a few games. But we had this. What really got me into video games is we had this thing called like Blockbuster, or one that we had was Hollywood Video.
Yeah, Hollywood Video. And
Hollywood Video. That was like the first time I had my own phone, like leaving the house, because I would go to the Hollywood Video, use their radio phone, and like call people and then like rent video games. Like it was just right across the street from me. So like that was like amazing. I would just rent video games, come back, play the games, and just play so many games. Yes. But yeah, the first games, Mario 64, I believe, and Turok, and those like 64 games, but never played like NES or any of those games. But after that, it was downhill.
Yep.
Wow, that's great stuff.
Man.
On the same topic of games, what is your favorite game and least favorite game that you have played on stream?
Least favorite game that I played on stream. That's a good question.
And favorite.
And favorite. I mean, D&D is my favorite to play on stream because it's one of those games that you can just do anything, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's your oyster, right? That's hands down. I don't have to think about it. Boom, D&D. I can make anything with that. The worst thing, that's a hard question because I don't know if I had a worse one. I guess it's the ones that didn't work, right? That I couldn't actually stream. The ones maybe like, I I wouldn't say it's a bad game, but like the Squad. I played a lot of Squad, and in one of those voice proximity things, people would be playing like music or saying really bad things, so I wouldn't want to stream it. So that's like this. That's maybe a game that I would say is I hate on stream is because I can't play it.
Yeah.
And because I can't trust other people to behave.
Right.
You know,
These people.
Absolutely, I get that. Yep.
yeah. But there's going to be games, of course, that you're not going to be too much of a fan of, but you're going to have to try anyways to, see how it's like. But I haven't got there yet, really.
Ori,
Luckily.
for me. Ori, 100%. Didn't
Ori?
like it.
Yeah.
Ori, can't do it. Nope. Sorry. Aries knows. All right. How long have you been playing flight simulator style games, and what is your favorite one?
Flight simulators, I've been only playing War Thunder, really. I've been playing that since like high school.
Wow.
I was big into warplanes in general. My great uncle, he was like a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, and he didn't really talk about like the war and like that, but he talked about like the helicopters and planes and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Right.
And my other uncle would give me like model stuff. So he gave me like a model Spitfire because they were from the UK. And I'm like, oh, cool planes. And I always thought they were cool because I was afraid of heights. So I never went on a plane. I'm like, no way. And that got me into it. And I started playing War Thunder because it just looked beautiful. I like playing it because it looks beautiful. Now that I have like a really good system to play it on, it looks amazing. That just grew into my older self. Just playing with like action figures when I was younger, like planes and stuff like that. ADHD kid, something like that. And then of course there was Star Wars with the spaceships. So like just that evolved in Star Wars, spaceships, planes, this and that. I just loved it.
Yeah.
And it even got into the point where during COVID, I went cross country with my friend, and we went to this big giant museum out in the West Coast. I think it's Pima or something like that, Pima, Arizona. And we just spent 8 hours walking around the desert, just looking at planes and this and that. And it was amazing.
That
I'm
sounds
a big
really
airplane kind of guy.
Right on.
That's awesome.
We need to get he and SOC Teddy together.
I know, because SOC Teddy's an actual pilot.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I told him that he would love DYS. I think he would just jive so much with the DYS crew. Like he would fall in love with all of you guys. So,
speaking of the DYS crew, how long have you known Brandon Wolf Gaming, and from your point of view, how did DYS come about?
So I met Brandon with mutual friends in my town. We kind of just like met, commonly. He came over my house one time, and then we went to like New Hampshire on like a nice little trip to this and that. Found out that he plays video games. Like, oh, you're a gamer? I'm a gamer. Yo, blah blah blah. So we started playing video games together, and then once he kind of switched to PC, we kind of like started doing. He was streaming on Twitch. I think a year or two before me. So he was really going into Fortnite and stuff like that on PlayStation and For Honor and all these other games. And then when he switched to PC, we kind of connected because I was a PC gamer. And we joined together and made like DYS together. And we just like, this is a community thing. Let's get it together. And we had the same views, and we just thrived together, and we just kind of boosted ourselves like, hey, let's rate each other, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And it just grew into something, what you see now, and it's something magical.
Yeah.
And it's something to really look back at and smile. Just like something simple can grow into something so big.
Indeed.
And wonderful.
We know exactly. We have the same viewpoint, and like that's why our two communities are like sister communities. We're like allies, and I just adore what you guys are doing, and we can't wait to see the future that unfolds for DYS and all the amazing things that you do and how much you guys grow. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you. And DYS inspires a lot of us at Stormkeep. Like,
that's right.
we're we're always just in such awe of how awesome DYS is, and you guys inspire us so much. It's awesome, and what you guys are building is truly amazing and very inspirational, and we just love it. We just adore you guys.
Ditto,
So much. So
can't wait to see our collabs together. That'll be amazing.
That'll be fun.
I can't wait.
So good. Yeah. So what are some of your visions and goals for DYS in the future as of now?
As of now, we would love to see just more of just a variety of content that we can make. Whatever we can make that people would like, we would love to see it on around our community. Like if it's cooking, if it's like working out, if it's going out in the wilderness, if it's like growing plants or homesteading or playing video games or just whatever. We would love just to open up and just see it, and just being able to show like this is what reality TV should be like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's you know what I mean? But that's what I think Twitch could really become, or any other platform, is a real reality TV where you can actually see real people living life and enjoying it. Just being themselves.
I love that so much.
Speaking of being yourself, tell us, what is the weirdest sleeping dream you have ever had?
Oh my Lord. Oh man, I have a lot. There's a scary one as a kid that always makes me cry because it's really creepy. It was at my old house. Okay. And then I have one that's, of course, of work, right? Those work dreams.
I want to hear the first one. Not so sure about the second one. You can tell us what you want to tell us. But
okay, that's my the one that I always remember. So it was at my old house. I have two older sisters, and we lived in the same room together, but we had like these makeshift ghetto like walls to divide the room.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I remember that. So I basically lived as like a Harry Potter, because I like lived underneath like the slope, right? And I would always bang my head when getting up. But I remember waking up the dream, banging my head, and like going downstairs. And I was walking down the stairs, and I remember I would wake up naturally to go see and watch cowboy movies or cowboy shows at 3:00 in the morning. So I was walking downstairs, and this crocodile was watching my cowboy show, just standing in front of the TV. And I'm just like, I freeze up, right? And I'm just like, oh no. And so, and of course, the stairs was our timeout corner. So it was just, both ends were really bad, because I'm in my timeout corner and I can't get past this crocodile. Something probably mixed up. And I remember I looked to the front door, and I see this fox like looking in the front door, and it just creeped me out, right? So I ran past the crocodile and jumped over it, went into the kitchen and hid underneath the table, the kitchen table. And we have a really creepy basement. And in this basement, the door opens up suddenly, and this big honking bear walking on its hind legs goes across the table, right? It was a really creepy dream. I remember vividly when I was a kid. And after that, I ran outside the house and ran to the playground, and then all the creepy things came up to me and went on top of the playset, and then they got me. That was it.
Wow, that's a real animal theme you got going on there for your nightmare.
Animal themed dream, but that's
crazy.
I remember it vividly. Yes, it's creepy, especially at Fox. Ooh.
Oh man, that is so wild.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it?
Especially when it's those kid dreams that stick with you for so long.
And also, I love, love and hate, right? It's a love and hate kind of thing. The dreams where, you're in your real life environment and you're convinced that it's not a dream. That's when it's really freaky. I actually enjoy those. I'm weird that way, even when they're scary, just because it's such a unique experience. The dreams I can't stand are exactly the one you described. Secondly, you didn't describe, but you hinted at, is when you're doing something at work, man, the worst kind of nightmares I've ever had were all about work.
Yeah, it was the worst. It was right when Skyrim came out, and I passed out when it was playing the music on the start screen. And man, I'll tell you what. It was like, when you're playing, you just like pass out and it's just playing the music in the background. I'm just passed out on my bed in the weirdest position. It was a wild dream. It was a wild.
Dreams are so wild. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep.
If you get the heebie-jeebies out really quick. If you could be any superhero from a comic book, what would it be and why? Or have like their powers?
That's a good question. I mean, I've always loved Spider-Man. Like having those senses and those reflexes would be really cool. That's a really great question. What would I want to be? I guess Spider-Man, yeah. Just having those cool reflexes and just being like very strong and just swing it around and like conquering my fear of heights or something like that. Like how his build up in the beginning of like jumping off the building. Yeah. And just like I could do this, right? Just having that encouragement, like to be able to do it, right? Yeah. That would be something. Not just being like a superhuman, like and fly around, no easy, but like just being like having that little kick in the butt of just a little bit of power to be able to jump off that roof and have the encouragement. I think that'd be good enough for me.
I like it. What a great answer.
That is cool.
All right, so this is the last question of the primary interview today, and then we're going to be moving on to the Q&A with our audience members. This is the most important question of them all. You ready for it, buddy?
Oh, ready.
Sweet or savory?
I always had the biggest sweet tooth. I had a big sweet tooth, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Do you have a favorite sweet that you gravitate towards?
I like the white chocolate, like with like the ball things, those Edmonds. I like those. I forget what they're called.
Or it has like a crunchy bit on the inside.
Yeah, a little bit. I think, or it's like the creamy stuff. I forget what it's called. I haven't had them in a while.
The Lindor?
The Linds. Yeah,
I like their dark chocolate.
See, like I like sweet, but like my mother always got me into dark chocolate too because that's her favorite. So that's all she had. So I was a young kid. I'm like, ooh, dark chocolate. And I'm like, this is actually good.
I love dark chocolate. Yeah. The darker the chocolate, the better.
Yeah, Brandon just gave me some dark chocolate earlier. I'm like, oh, nice. Split this in half.
Yes.
Right on. Well, thank you for sharing all the letting us plumb the depths of who you are about your stream, at least a little bit. Maybe scratching the surface, but now we're gonna share with all the folks your links so they can support you, and then we're gonna move into the open Q&A session. I know that Druid is already on the ball and shared it. Guys, please. Brotousai is the kind of people that we want to highlight the most on Twitch because he's just a warm, sweet human being who cares for people and cares for making great content. And we just go support him. Drop the follows, the likes, and the subs, and the biddies, right?
All the itty bitty bitties, individual itty bitty bitties. We love them. I actually have a question.
Ooh, okay.
For Brotousai.
Yeah.
What is your favorite D&D character that you have played?
That's
like your favorite character.
Ooh, so when I got into playing with a lot of my friends, like recently, we have like a lot of people going playing together. I've been playing this undead samurai called Oni no Hanzo, and he was it's a big edgelord thing, right? Yeah. It was a big edgelord thing. He tried to save his mother. He died because of his family sword. He got cursed, and then he was slowly undead for like 1,000 years as a Ronin. So just being like a history buff, undead samurai trying to regain his morality and his honor was really cool to play for quite a while, and I've been playing that guy, and I'm kind of like, I have ideas to play, like doing like one shots with interesting tidbits of how he became what he is in the campaign that I was playing.
Wow, that is
from his
so
1,000
cool.
years.
I have to share that you and I kind of have that in common, sort of. One of my favorite NPCs that I created was a skeleton knight. Not technically, obviously, a samurai, but really similar in that, you know, he was cursed to be undead, and he's trying to regain his honor and trying to regain his humanity. But he was like a knight, which a samurai is just a Japanese
which
knight.
Basically is.
Yeah. So he's one of my favorite NPCs, and I hadn't thought about him in a while, and so you brought a warm memory to me.
Yep,
brother.
that's awesome. Yep, exactly. I'm like, I just had this cool idea, and I kind of shot it to my friend. He's the same friend that made my name, Brotousai. It was like, hey, you know, is there any way you can make this work? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but like, he gave me a question, like, so on healing potions, do you want to be able to be healed by healing potions or poisons? And I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm going to make it harder. It can only be healed by poison or something like that. You know, I can't be healed by real magical means. So like being like a samurai and being like the kind of like a tank in the front lines, it's kind of difficult, but it's interesting. And we had so many close encounters with like clerics or something like that, almost finding out that I was undead, you know, and I just love it. Cool. I love the role play. Yeah.
That is awesome.
I have since Druid had a question, I have a question too. I'm curious about that came to mind during the interview. That is, when you play War Thunder, do you use a controller, a mouse, or a joystick?
Controller and mouse. They have different styles of play, and I am a keyboard person, so I hold this button to be able to look around with my mouse. Right. So I look around with my mouse to be able to see like a 360 around me, and I use WASD to control my plane. I gotcha. And then Q and E for the ailerons. Awesome. That's how I control it. But I've been I bought a joystick, and I've been trying to get into DCS. It's called a Digital Combat Simulator. And that's like where it's like the real deal, right? So recently I've been able to find out like how to cold start a F-16 and like just, you know, throwing myself in the cockpit and just turning on those switches and stuff like that. Yeah. And I bought this like IR thing where it like shows like the facial structure of your face, and you could look around. So soon enough, you might be able to see that when I play other games, but like just not having the VR, but being able to look around with your head, like slight movements, you can look all around you. But it's a slow progress. I only have the joystick. I want to get the actual throttle as well. Yeah, but I could just use my keyboard for that for now. Oh, cool. Right on. Ooh. Yeah, keyboard, mouse right now for War Thunder. Most people use keyboard and mouse. Awesome. Looks like yeah.
I was going to say, my husband has a question. Extra Fate asks, what is a memorable moment you had during your first D&D game you ran in Canada?
Ooh, so we did a really cool thing, right? So the plan was to play poker that night. It was no D&D, nothing, right? And it was my 30th birthday. So people were like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I kind of want to play D&D. And I'm like, you know what, Mother Flowers, I'm going to get you to play D&D. So, you know, we went and did that. And playing poker in D&D was really cool. Just having that immersion into real life, and just seeing what people would actually like talk about, and like just not just regular poker, but just being like role playing their character while playing poker. Ooh, that sounds fun. Love that memory. Wow, that sounds fun. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Nevertell has an interesting question. Why do you abuse Tilted in For Honor?
Everyone needs a good spanking sometimes to get them in line. I'm just kidding. You know, sometimes the master has to stay the master, and the Padawan has to stay the Padawan until
get good.
Yeah, get good.
Because For Honor is tilting.
That's funny stuff, buddy. That's good.
Oh man.
What was that?
It's just one of those like brother things you have to do, right? You just have to like do the extreme to the brother, right? And out of love.
Yeah. Yeah. You bully the ones that you love. Trust me, I am the most bullied of Stormkeep, but I know that's because everybody.
Yes. Just as long as it's friendly bullying, no real bullying.
Right. You should hear me and Brandon together. We're like something else.
The odd couple.
Yep.
Ooh, Never Tilted asked another good question.
Yeah, that's a great one.
But for real, where do you want your content to go in the next year?
I definitely want to branch out. The War Thunder is my kind of go-to thing, and I don't want it to be reliable thing because I want to be getting into D&D. I want to be able to spread my content anywhere that I could, not just be restricted to one thing. And this opportunity that me and Brando are doing is a real eye opener to spread that content however I can. And that's why me and Brandon are just thinking of all these different things we could do. Like we have like a tricycle, right? And we have like a huge green screen back here. We're thinking about just like having like a bike path and me and Brandon just biking along, on a stream, just like, talking to chat. Just anything could be possible.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to be restricted to one thing. And of course, D&D is something that I love and adore for all my life. So that's one thing I would love to branch into, but everything else is free real estate, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Nice.
I love D&D.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, you do.
It's so
For you and Fate, just like Starkey and I, it's a part of your life. It's a lifestyle. It really is.
Yeah. I love all the miniatures and stuff you have. And and shout out to Never Tilted because he's making miniatures, and I would love to get a lot of miniatures myself to get into D&D.
They're fun. They're fun. They really add something to it. Scully asks, who is your favorite VTuber?
That is, of course, Closet Scully.
I knew that was coming.
Come on, Skulls. What?
Phaser asks, how grow beard? Please help. Help.
When you like really think hard and you just like get like a spasm in your head, you just have to really think hard and just let it grow. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
the focus.
Yeah.
Focus really hard.
That's that.
Starkitty asks a great question, Stormy.
Yeah, I see that. I thank you for letting me have that one. Just like I was planning on pointing out that Extra Pay Fade had a question. We got this. So
it's like we hang out.
My SO asks, where would you time travel if it were possible?
That's a good question.
I guess the question is more better, when would you time travel? But you can interpret it how you want.
That's a crazy, crazy question, I guess it would be like way back in time, right? Just being like where people don't really know what's going on, right? And just like starting up a civilization and making a good civilization right from the get-go, right? And hopefully I don't get killed, but just like starting something new that's not like terrible for the people. But it's a hard question because you don't know what would happen. But starting a new civilization and making it build into something better than just what it is today, right? Everyone's separated, and just having the knowledge that no one else did. Right?
Yep.
So thousands and thousands of years.
Discovered fire.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably the safest time to travel back in time.
Look at this. I rub against the carpet. I make a spark. Then I get stoned to death or something.
Or eaten by a dinosaur.
I go back to dinosaurs, then I get eaten. Wrong time. No.
You did say you were scared of Torok, right?
I added an extra zero.
Yeah.
I added an extra.
I should not be a nurse.
Oh man. What is the next cool place you would like to visit and see around the world to bring DYS? Asks Brandon.
Ooh, DYS. DYS to bring around. I mean, I don't know a certain location, but it would be crazy to see, different parts of the world. Like, Australia or something like that. Something crazy out of this world. Excuse me, that we've never been to. That we get to experience for the first time, right? Not just like something like an hour away that we've seen 30 times, but that would be great to have content for. But just saying something new for the first time would be amazing. So there's not really anywhere, any time, but more just like experiencing something new for the first time.
For sure.
And enjoying it.
Yeah. There's something magical about watching somebody experience something for the first time.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
that'd be cool.
If I had to pick a place though, I would say Egypt, because my grandparents went to Egypt.
Neato.
And lived there or something like that, and I would love to experience it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would love
pick one place.
too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Phaser asked a cool question. Are you interested in doing more live content or branching out into VOD content as well, like YouTube and Tickety Talk?
Tickety Talk.
Yes, that's something I actually am starting to do is build up the socials and getting everything right from the get-go. And I'm trying to learn how to edit and do shorts and possible do quick, easy videos that could be easily implemented into YouTube or what have you. But I definitely like the shorts idea, and having quick editing skills that could make stuff pop would be great. Because I've been doing like videos when I was a kid with my friends. My friend wanted to be a producer. We out in the nether realm in the YouTubes, which I'm not going to describe. There is me as a 14-year-old on YouTube, and we're just goofing around, and it's the most cringiest thing I can ever watch, and I can never show it right now.
Listen,
but I know Brandon's seen it. That's probably the only person so far. But yeah. I'm listening.
So there's also cringy videos of me. One of my friends in high school was doing music videos, and they were music videos to Evanescence. And I was, so you could only imagine how cringy that is.
Wow.
Just saying.
That sounds awesome.
I forgot Brotilla's seen it too. Oh yeah, I did this. I could tell you about one time that I was like, my friend had a high school thing he had to do, like a work study, and he had to be a news anchor, and I was his co-anchor. Right? I was welcome to Channel 4 News.
Nice.
And we were just goofy in that, and just young, and I had long hair and everything. It was the most cringiest thing ever. Awesome. But yeah.
Speaking of Bertilla.
No. No, Brandon, no.
What is he saying?
Speaking of Bertilla,
I need to see that. No.
I think Bertilla has the next question.
The video.
Did you see it there, Druid?
Yep. Brotilla the Gun asks, if you could be any plane in the War Thunder, which would it be?
If I could be any plane in the War Thunder, I guess. I mean, as a kid, I was big Top Gun, so F-14, the Tomcat. But I'm already playing it right now. But the next plane that I want to be in the future is the Gripen, the Swedish Gripen.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Scully asks, what's your favorite time period?
Favorite time period? I mean, obviously ancient antiquity times, so Roman era. It's so interesting to know the differences, because I was a big military history kind of guy, so I always watch like battles in time. The big difference of how many people were in a battle during the Roman ages and the medieval ages, like just 300, 400,000 people on a field, and this dust kicking up about, and just crazy times, right?
Yeah,
it's crazy to see the differences in that. So ancient antiquity, like 400 BC or like 53 BC, like between those two would be a crazy time to see.
That would be wild.
Because there was one time that Brandon went, he went to Europe and he went across like the Mediterranean, and I just think about it, seeing the coastline of just it's a fleet of ships of Carthaginian and Roman ships battling against each other in a straight line you can't see for just on and on. Just seeing those crazy times would be just amazing to me.
Oh,
all the war, all the war. Yeah.
Do you want to get into Star Kitty's next question?
Go for it. Yours is next, I think.
No, go for it.
Okay. If you were the captain of a pirate ship, what would be the name of your ship? Why and why?
I don't know why, but it goes to my head right now. We're watching the Anchorman last night, and they were saying, "What's diversity?" And they said, "It's an old wooden ship." But I want to call it that. Maybe diversity, because that sounds pretty cool right now. Maybe I'll choose diversity.
I like
it. Because I'm going to diverse the 7th sea.
I'm bringing diversity. We're traveling.
It's sharing that comes on top of my head.
Everybody's going to ride on it.
Yep.
Do you have any questions for us, brother?
Yeah, sure. How did you two get to meet each other, and how did Stormkeep become what it is today?
Oh, wow.
Can I answer the first half? You answer the second half?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was this streamer. His name is Just Me Josher. He no longer streams on Twitch, but Ezo and I were both moderators for Just Me Josher. Ezo's also a moderator for Stormy. So they ended up raiding each other all the time. And then I just ended up in Stormy's chat one day, and we were talking, and we just clicked, and I just mentioned how it got mentioned that Stormy's been a DM, and I'm like, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, like a full campaign before. I've only dabbled. And I've only we'd have like 5 sessions and it would fall apart, and it was like nothing was a good click. And then, we just started talking, and then all of a sudden we're streaming D&D.
Nice.
Literally just met through raids.
Yeah. On that, to add to that, before I, answer my half, I was just sparked by exactly something that Drew had said earlier. It's always enjoyable as a DM to see people experience things for the first time. And I had become good friends with her and Fate. We'd kind of bonded. I mean, we didn't know each other well then, but we started to bond, is basically it. And so when I heard that she was interested and wanted to play D&D, and Fate was excited about the prospect of her having a good D&D experience, I just wanted, I just wanted to be the person to try and provide that for them. So
yeah, we never even planned on really streaming it. We had 5 sessions before let's stream this, and then that's what happened, and here we are.
Nice. Yeah. That's wonderful.
As far as the second part, how has Stormkeep become what it has? I'm sure it's the same as you guys. Well, one, you have a drive and a vision, and then of course, you work toward that by providing content, entertainment, and value for people. Draw them in. Your vibe attracts your tribe, and so we've been very fortunate. Is all I can say, that the bunch of us of Stormkeep have come together. Just like you guys, I'm sure feel very fortunate that all the folks of DYS have come together, right? And it's, I can't, it's hard to answer that question because it's grown on its own, right? It's become this this beautiful thing that we get to help nurture. And again, because we have a vision that's very similar to you guys' vision of providing.
And you guys help inspire it too.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, and
it's like more of a sentence than you can ever describe, right? Yeah, it's something that keeps on going and run on sentences.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah. So
cool. And I guess the last question I have, it's kind of like the same thing with what everyone else has been asking. What do you think is going to be the future of Stormkeep? What do you think is next?
Yeah,
we're gonna get Stormy. We're gonna get Stormy to partner, make an official streamer of Stormkeep, and we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. Like we're basically copy paste. Like we just want to be a place for people that they can just pop into one of our Discords and meet 5 other people that we are all just like have the same vision of just like creating a comfortable place for people to feel warm and welcome. We want to uplift other streamers. It's the main reason why we have this podcast.
Yeah.
We just want to continue to uplift other streamers, show off cool people, and just keep growing. Like and like I've said this before, like if my channel never like stops growing and it plateaus, I'm fine as long as like Bandwidth and Banter is growing, the people around me are growing, and I get to promote them and support them. That's all I want, Rising tides raise all ships, 100%.
Exactly, Iltacine.
100% Ilt.
100%. Yeah, we
absolutely.
I just love listening to you, Druid, and hear your vision of things, and because it's important. I mean, we communicate every week, and so we treat it like it's a job, but not the kind of job where you're bored, right? We treat it like it's something that we when I say like a job, we treat it with the seriousness as if it were a job, right? And we put forth the effort that's required and help motivate each other, And so ultimately, it's about working towards this vision. And my vision for what we're doing with Bandwidth and Banter and Stormkeep is, I would love to see, as we continue to grow it, whether I'm the one who makes partner first or not is irrelevant, as long as we can create what's it called? Stream team, an official partnership stream team, under that kind of thing. Then ultimately we want to get to the point where when we can eventually have like big guests, famous guests on. And by doing so, when we have some of the smaller medium streamers on, we can introduce them to a much bigger audience, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the idea, the vision that I have is that we can actually reach all the people that are kind of stuck and mired in some content that not necessarily, it's not necessarily bad. Like some of those big streamers are big because they're good, right? But because everyone's always spending their time there, they don't necessarily get to see other people. And so by growing us to the point where we can have those kinds of folks on, it will uplift the folks who are working hard to provide entertainment and value and a safe space for folks.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's so many people that are like, I've seen so many people out there that are doing exactly like what other people are doing, that become successful. Is like, they're not looking at the viewers, they're continuously talking to themselves, and they're actually like have great stuff and great content, and they're just not recognized, right? And just being able to have those eyes and like to see a person living life and enjoying themselves and being able to share it with someone else, being like, hey, you're a cool person. Like talk to them for a second and just like see their content and share it with the world and having other people to be able to see it and just like kind of like having that ability to let other people grow is like what you guys think of as well, and it's nice to see. And it's like it's always funny because we have DYS, like dysfunctional family. We're all dysfunctional family. But we're all family here, right? Like we all have our thing, and like with Stormkeep, and like you guys are keeping it together, and I like how you guys are keeping it real and in like a good way, and it's good to see.
Thank you. So, ditto. Like it's beautiful. Wow.
We're very fortunate.
Star Kitty, I'm gonna let you take this last one of Star Kitty's since you generously gave me hers earlier.
Cool.
And this will be
question for all three.
This is a question for all three. Sorry to interrupt you. We better wrap up after this last question. So, but luckily it's a nice deep one for all of us to answer. So it's a good question. Last question for the night. And
I love you, Simon.
One more time, guys. Thank you guys for being here. So here's the question. Go ahead, Druid. I'm sorry.
Question for all three of you. If you had to teach a class on one thing, what would you teach?
Do you guys want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I would love to hear you go first.
I have to think.
So I've always teaching myself and always keeping myself reminded is I always was an advocate of going outside in the middle of night and looking up at the stars, right? And just reminding each one of us that we are a very, very small person, but we can make the biggest effect on someone. And it could be as big as a sun in your sun, your vast horizon, right? But you could be the smallest thing. And just remember, you can make the biggest impact.
That's right.
And just having that in your soul, it is enlightening,
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I could teach someone is that you're very small, but you make the biggest impact.
I love it.
That's it, really.
Yeah, I love that. I think there's a few things that I think I could probably teach a class on. But I think the one thing that I could really teach people is like owning the belly laugh. You know how some people, like, you could tell when they're like stifling laughs and they just like chest laugh or throat laugh, and you could tell that they're holding back. And you're just like, oh, no. You gotta fill in the diaphragm and you just gotta laugh, dude. Because it feels so much better. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like,
yeah.
That's not satisfying. The no, big old belly laugh. You gotta you gotta open up the chest. Gotta take a deep breath in and just go for it, man. Just gotta have the big, huge belly laugh. Like I could teach a class on that.
So she's gonna teach a master class on laughing mastery. I love it. I mean, she is the giggle factory, so it fits. Wow. Beautiful visions, beautiful classes. I love it.
Or I could teach a class about the importance of like when you're walking outside, all of like the cool shit that you see. Like I find some of the coolest feathers and the coolest pine cones, and people walk right by them every day and never acknowledge them. That's the other class.
How do I follow those? Those are amazing. For me, if I could teach something, I'm a big picturist. I don't like the idea of having to categorize people into anything, but we all do that ourselves. We all kind of lump ourselves and we categorize ourselves. So if you have to categorize me, I would call myself a big picturist. And so what I would most want to teach would be that love is the big picture, that human beings collaborating together in a loving way is the greatest gift that we can give to each other, and the greatest way to make everybody successful as a species. And I would say I would teach a philosophy class about the big picture and how we can share this power. This it's like a magnetism. It's this, and it's just action. It's just thought and action.
I love that you're like big picture, and I'm like, look at the ground when you're walking.
No,
find a feather.
but that's part of the big picture. That's part of the big picture.
That is part of the big picture. Yeah.
Like,
I love it. Yeah.
So good.
And I think all of our ideas tie together nicely. You know?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Brotousai?
No, it was like gonna say, like what I was saying earlier, is that you never know what people like, what pleasures people have in the world, what rewards them, right? Like seeing a small little shell on the beach or a nice pine cone that you think is cool. Because like my mother picks up crazy looking pine cones that are like, dead, but they're all cool, they're big and stuff like that. I mean, who would have exactly like something like that? Or if you never know, like just four leaf clovers, like how did that become a thing? Like people pluck them and they thought it was cool. You never know what rewards someone until you actually do. And you could put someone's smile on their face by giving them a flower or a 4-leaf clover or a pine cone or just a bigger picture.
Yeah.
And it opens your eyes on and what love could be, right? In this world. And I love how it kind of ties everything together, like you said.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I am so excited for more collabs with Stormkeep and DYS.
Oh yeah.
I think a collaboration between literally we could take over Twitch, I think. Literally, I am not even joking. 100%. If we like banded together and we did more collabs, we could literally run half of Twitch.
I absolutely see it. Yep. I have a vision. Part of my vision that we were talking about earlier on a realistic scale is maybe it's just a dream, a goal, a wish, whatever you want to call it, is one day I want us to grow, and not just us, but all the folks that we lift up on Bandwidth and Banter, all the super communities like you guys that were able to do so well, make such an impact, make such noise that we eventually get the attention of the Twitch folks themselves, and they go, wow, we want these guys to continue doing what they're doing on a new scale, on a new level, and just take it to a whole new level.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know when someone's going to see it and they're just going to be like, okay, I'm on this train. I'm hopping on,
We're never going to stop.
That's right.
Exactly.
Except, sadly, we do have to stop the show at some point. So,
we'll stop it today.
But guys,
Sad day.
please, it's Brotousai, it's been amazing having you on. I knew it would be, and it was such an honor and a pleasure, as always, for all you guys to the DYS folks. You're just beautiful and warm, and we adore you, sir.
It's an honor. It's an honor to you too. Thank you so much as well.
Thank you, guys.
I love being here. I couldn't wait.
No worries. We can't wait to have you on again someday, for sure.
It will happen.
Yes,
absolutely.
Go, guys! Support Brotousai. Check out his War Thunder and his D&D and his stream, and give him all the biddies and the subs and the follows, and help build these guys up.
All the biddies.
That's what we're all about. So, thanks again for coming on, Brotousai, and you have a good one. Okay.
Thank you so much. Goodbye, guys.
Oh, Druid, wow. Oh, what a wonderful evening. What a wonderful way to cap our Friday night. And,
Always.
And it's just, it's
My
super
heart
cool.
feels so full.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So
you know,
full.
I get it that sometimes we get a little sappy, but I don't mind. I don't care. I don't care if people, you know, it's the vibes. It's what we're trying to create. Sometimes, you know, sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes our streams are just wild and crazy, right? And just silly fun and comedy and being bad at games or being great at games, right? But in the end, people like Brotousai are what makes Twitch a better place and the world a better place.
Yeah. Yep. And the DYS crew, thank you for sharing him with us.
Yes.
And thank you guys all for being awesome. We just, on behalf of Stormkeep, we love DYS. So
Indeed.
If you are a fan of Stormkeep, you could 100% be a fan of DYS.
That's
so
right.
Go support them. Please.
Absolutely.
All of them.
And
every single one of them.
We have another amazing person on next week. So be sure to check it out next Friday. Old Man Garrus at 2 p.m.
Old Man Garrus. Yep. 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I will not have an early Friday stream. It will be a late Friday stream. So
not that late, but yeah, a little later. I mean, I guess it is late. Yeah. But yep, it'll be there, guys. Old Man Garrus next week at 2 p.m. He's one of the Insomnia Night folks.
Yes, he is.
So.
Yep, and another big D&D'er. So let's go.
All righty.
Let's go.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We got to do the thing. Here we go.
Oh, yes. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me pull it. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Here we go. Ready? Thank you for coming to the show.
Please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below.
If you're listening to the podcast,
please rate and review the episode.
We are Bandwidth
and Banter.
Thank you.
And good night. Goodbye. Goodbye.